Londres.
Last week, 2 in 5 Brits voted for a party led by unrepentant Marxists. Unrepentant Marxists who want to take taxation back to levels not seen since the aftermath of the Second World War, and who have effectively backed the other side in every conflict Britain has faced since then, glorying, as Diane Abbott put it, in every defeat for the British state. How did that happen? The temptation in politics is to make it all about us. Heaven knows the Conservatives made mistakes in that campaign. No one's denying that, and there are more qualified people than me looking at what they were. But the central, clunking fact of this result is that 40% of our fellow countrymen voted for an ideology that we thought had been buried under the rubble of the Berlin Wall in 1989. The simplest explanation is also the most depressing. Lots of people will vote for apparently free stuff. I spent polling day in East Kent. I knocked up 3 voters who'd been canvassed as Conservatives and who'd switched their vote in the last few weeks of the campaign and were now voting Labour. All 3 of them gave the same explanation, which is that they didn't want to pay tuition fees. And here's the thing, they weren't students. They were parents of students. Now, of course, on one level, nobody wants to pay for anything. It would be lovely if everything were free. But underpinning the Labour manifesto, with its promises of extra money on healthcare, on schools, on pensions, on public sector pay rises, on care for the elderly, on all of those things, was the idea that somehow the money would be rustled up without anyone having to pay for it. And that isn't the real world. This extraordinary idea has got around that austerity is not a fact of having run out of money. It's a choice inflicted on the electorate by sadists. I remember a conversation I had when I was campaigning with a student who said, why should I have to pay when you didn't have to in your university days? And I said, look, it's not my money that I'm refusing to give you, right? It's that somebody has to look after the public finances. There are kids who have left school at 16 and have started work and are paying taxes. Is it fair that they should carry the burden for everyone entirely who's benefiting from university? We have to make these choices. But unless we Conservatives can win this argument about the non-existence of the magic money tree, we are in a very bad situation, and so is our country. So let me spell it out in the simplest way I can. Austerity is not a choice inflicted on the country by stingy politicians. Austerity is what happens when you still have a deficit. We are still spending more than we raise to the tune of £50 billion per year. In the time that I've been recording this video, our national debt has risen by more than £400,000. So you know what? I'm going to shut up.